I am that I am. Master Anna. Of sovereign domain. And of magical service. I am indeed John's soul. What is soul? Soul is who you are. You thought you were this little human here, walking around on this little planet, out in the middle of nowhere, in what you call your universe. You are so much more than that. But you chose to come here, to this little blue ball in space. You chose to compress a portion of yourself down into this extreme density that you call human being. You chose to come and embody a portion of yourself, very small portion, into this creature, this animal. And then you look in the mirror and you think this animal is you. It's just a tiny little bit of you. You are so much bigger and so much grander than this. And that, the rest of you, that is your soul. That is who you are. That is your divinity. You thought divinity was some being off somewhere else in the universe. No. It's you. It is your soul, your source. You thought you were created by some grand creator being. And indeed, you were. But that grand creator being is you. That is who you are. But you chose to come here, to this place called Earth, to place a portion, small portion of your consciousness into this creature you call the human being, in order to play a game. And in the playing of that game, to discover who you are, or a portion of who you are. So I am John's soul. I call myself, or John calls me, Master Anna, to signify that, your biology is broken up into these things you call masculine and feminine. You have men and women, boys and girls. And indeed, that reflects a certain truth of your soul. Because there was a time when, not a time, because time is strictly related to the human. But there was a point in your experience where you asked yourself, who am I? And in a sense, only in a sense. In that instant, you split into two. The original, masculine and feminine, light and dark, the original duality. And one part of you went off, said, I am going to go out and I am going to discover and show you, dear self, who we are, who I am. So a part of you went out. It was the more masculine part. Part of you stayed behind in a certain sense. Because the truth is you went in, not out. A part of you stayed behind to hold the tether, so to speak, so you couldn't get lost. And to collect your experiences and distill the wisdom from them. Oh, it's been a long, long journey. And really only a breath. Now, here we are. Coming to the end of the journey. Oh. John has come to realize who he is, who I am. You could say that part of me that split off so long ago in human terms, it has come home in the form of John. And brought this huge gift of all these experiences to me. His soul. Oh, I am not greater than him. Or less. We are one and the same. Just two different perspectives. He is the one with the experience. I am the one. Looking for the right words. You could say I am the one with the wisdom because I have taken all of his experience. Distilled the wisdom from it. Now we blend back together. And so John calls me Master Anna to signify that I am, in a sense, only in a sense, the more feminine facet of who he is. In truth, we're going beyond the whole concept of masculine and feminine. I am simply that I am. There is no more masculine and feminine, although we can always play with those concepts. So, some of our recent workshops, we began them with welcome home. To signify this homecoming, this beautiful reunion, this beautiful blending together. You see, when you came to Earth, you needed this thing you call a veil. to distract you, to, in a certain sense, separate you from the memory of your soul, from the feeling of your soul, so that you could have these experiences, so that you could go deep into them, so that you could feel the pain of them and the joy of them and the pleasure and all these different things. You thought you got so many things wrong, but you didn't. Your soul has taken all of those things and distilled the wisdom from them. And now, as you blend back together with your own soul, as that veil comes down because it is no longer needed, your soul brings you that wisdom. It's not the kind of wisdom that the human thinks of. It doesn't come as understanding in the mind. No, that can be there too, but that's not where the real wisdom is. Real wisdom is with your soul. Comes, in a sense you could say it comes through your heart. But let's not get too literal with that. It comes through your knowing. And now, you, the human, your awareness is expanding. You're discovering that soul isn't just some being out there. Soul is everything that you are. It is also everything that you perceive. You are a sovereign being. You look around you and you think all these things are outside of you. They are actually within your own imagination. Your soul's imagination, you could say. No one else has access to your beingness. You see the others? Indeed, they reflect other creator, sovereign beings. But what you actually see are avatars of them. Avatars, much like your computer games that you play across the internet, or that your teenagers play over the internet. They play with all these other beings, all these other humans. But there's no human living inside that computer. There's simply avatars, playing out a role based upon the communication that comes through the network from those others. Well, that's what the people in your life are. Avatars. Reflecting a sovereign being out there somewhere. But the avatar is within your own energies. It's your own creation. So now comes the time when soul and human blend together. Now comes the time when you shift from being just a human to being a divine human. Now comes the time when the veil falls away. Oh, it's already gone. But it's a habit. It's a very strong habit. You've lived with it for so many lifetimes, so many eons of your time. It's a very strong habit. But it's not real anymore. Now you have direct access to your soul. And your soul has direct access to you and to your experience. You see, the veil went both ways. It kept you from being distracted by your soul. And it also kept your soul from being able to come in close and interfere in your experiences. So, now that veil is gone. Now your soul gets to come in and experience with you. Not to interfere, but to have the experience directly. And now you get to have a new kind of experience. You get to experience this life, as you call it, from the perspective of your soul. Now you get to commune with your soul. Now you get to feel your soul's presence. Oh, that's what you've always been longing for. You thought you were longing for another person, for a lover. That was always a substitute for your soul. Now, you can have your soul. The ultimate soul mate. Your own soul. It's yours now. It's here now. So often the human has trouble feeling that. Because the human is still looking out there somewhere for this other being that it calls soul. But it's right here. It's inside of you. It is you. It's your essence. It's really just a bigger perspective. One of the greatest honors I have ever had in all of my many, many lifetimes on earth is what John is doing, is offering right now to channel people's souls for them. Oh, it's such a beautiful experience. Someone asks for a channel. John opens up to me. And with my assistance, he then opens up to the other person's soul, to the communication from this other soul, this other sovereign being. And together we translate that communication into words for the human. Oh, what a beautiful experience. If you sign up for one of these sessions, you'll feel the beauty of it. We won't be giving you facts and figures so much or predicting your future. Other than with your soul, it's glorious. But it remains for you and your soul to write it together. Now, in these sessions, our job is to simply help you feel your own soul. Help you begin to recognize it. The human is so used to verbal communication that it doesn't recognize the subtle communication from soul. Human is so used to drama that it doesn't recognize the undramatic communication from soul. The human is so used to shame and guilt and fear that it doesn't recognize the love, the compassion, the grandness, the beauty, and the wisdom of soul. The human is so used to having to figure everything out in the mind that it doesn't recognize the knowing. So that's what these sessions are about. They're about getting you used to feeling your soul. People discover in these sessions that they felt their soul all along, but they didn't realize that's what it was. And as they go forward, now they have the ability to feel their soul, to commune with their soul, to discover their own wisdom. To face the challenges of their lives from a new place. It's such an honor for me as John's soul and for John as my human. Such an honor to help make these connections between people and their souls. It's not to tell you how to live your life. That's between you and your soul. We're here simply to help you make that connection. If you dare. Life with soul is so beautiful. It's so different. It scares the human at first, because the human is so used to the human way of life. But as you're finding that way of life doesn't work for you anymore, or you wouldn't be here. Life with soul. It's the grandest thing you have ever experienced. It's so beautiful. It's so full of knowing. And the human will learn very soon, very quickly, that it doesn't need to worry about anything anymore. Because with soul, with that knowing, everything takes care of itself. The problems solve themselves. The situations in life, sometimes they come along for reasons the human doesn't understand. And then they resolve themselves. And the human looks back and says, wow, that turned out so perfect. How did that happen? It's because you let soul take charge of your life. So, dear friend, welcome home. You also, if you are here, if you are resonating with any of this, then you also have come home to your soul. Feel back into that moment. Feel here, into this moment where you first asked that question, who am I? It's right here. It's not back anywhere. It's here. And now here you are, saying to your soul, this is who I am. This is who you are. This is who we together are. And now, all of your lifetimes are blending together. Every being you have ever been, every experience you have ever had, they're all blending into you now, into your soul. And now, the grandness that you are. Let it in. Let yourself feel it. You can do it right now. And if you would like some assistance in that, sign up for a personal channel. John and I will be there to help you open that doorway, to help you feel the essence of you in a new way, to recognize your own knowing and your own wisdom and your own grandness. You can look on our website to see what other people have said about these sessions. It's an incredible gift if you choose it for yourself. And yes, you can afford it if you choose it. And we are complete. Blessings. And so it is.